My name is Matt Scott, and I'm a freelance trombone player around the Atlanta area. Before playing this etude, let's go ahead and look at the key signature. Now we're in the key of E flat minor, so that means we're in the same key signature as G flat major. We have B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and C flat. Before playing the etude, go ahead and run up and down your E flat natural minor scale, making sure that your G flats towards the top of the staff are in 5th position, and your C flats just above the staff are in 4th position. The next thing we should talk about is breathing, because this etude has some phrases that are a little bit extended and can be difficult to make if we're not properly using our breath. Now there are 3 words that I like to talk about when we're discussing breathing. The first, relax. The second, direction. And the third, consistency. Now when we breathe, we need to make sure that there's no tension in our body or in our breath. We need to make sure that everything is 100% relaxed, because any tension that shows up in our body is going to immediately show up in our sound and give us a little bit brighter and a little bit gristly of a sound. So our breath should be something like this. Nice, deep, full, thick, and relaxed. The second word, direction. I need to make sure that if I'm holding my hand out here, my air is able to touch my fingertips. It always has forward direction, forward momentum. And third, consistency. I need to make sure that there are no bumps or no waves in my airstream, because any sort of bumps or waves are going to immediately show up in my playing. As opposed to you could hear how the breath was a little bit uneasy, and any sort of air like that is going to make my sound have some bumps in it. Next, let's talk about what some people refer to as across the break, or going over the grain, or natural break. On trombone, whenever you're going up in pitch and out on the slide, or going down in pitch and in on the slide, the horn makes a natural articulation for you that's just you going over a partial. Let's take, for example, the first 2 notes of this etude, E flat going to G flat. Go ahead and play those 2 notes 2 or 3 times without using your tongue going from E flat to G flat. You should hear a little bit of a pop or a little bit of an articulation. That's your natural break. Now there are plenty of these natural breaks all throughout this etude. We need to use as many as we can that will help us achieve a smooth legato style. A good way to find out where these are is to start at the beginning and just gliss the entire etude. And whenever you hear that natural articulation that the horn is doing for you, that's your natural break. And finally, let's talk about phrasing. Let's take the first 2 bars, for example. What a lot of people might be tempted to do is make those 2 individual subphrases, and they'd play them like this. Do, 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 do. Which is fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. But if we really want to captivate our audience and bring them in, let's take those 2 subphrases and extend them and stretch them into one longer 2-bar phrase. And it would sound something like this. Do, 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 do. Any chance you can get to stretch some of these phrases and stretch our breath a little bit, the better. Now we need to make sure that in all of these phrases, they're either going somewhere or coming from somewhere. Every phrase should have an apex, should have a climax that you're going to or coming away from. Now good luck and happy practicing.